I'm Sean Hayes. I've been teaching at Charleston Southern for about almost 6 years now, 5.5 years. And I also, before that, was a student. So I was in the computer science department, and I had the opportunity to learn under a lot of great professors that motivated me and inspired me here. And was very blessed after going to grad school to be able to come back and teach here and have some of those same teachers now as colleagues. So that was pretty cool. And again, for those of you who jumped in a little late, Chris McClure is here, and he's also going to be talking a little bit and helping answer questions. So if you have a question about anything that you might want to hear a more student perspective, more like the real deal of what goes on from a student side, then he's there to say that. And obviously I can share stuff about the program and about how important it is, and opportunities after you graduate and things like that. So if you see two of me, feel free to push the one out of the way. I know I'm doing things a little different here, but welcome, glad to have you. I want to talk just a little bit about the program. I want to say to all of you potential students here that this is a great place to be, and that the computer science program here, we like to have a lot of fun, and we also learn a lot. And parents, I want to say that this is also a great job field. The computer science, cybersecurity fields are opportunities to be very useful in our society, and also provide great financial and job security. So feel like it's a good investment to come to school here and study that. So for our computer science program overview, which includes a major in computer science, that's a Bachelor of Science, and also a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity, and then we have a Bachelor of Arts in Computer Information Systems and a Bachelor of Technology program as well. And I'll talk about each of those. But as of this year, we've had 151 undergraduates and 12 graduate students in our graduate program. And 96 of those are focused specifically on those three core majors that I was talking about. We have 5 full-time faculty with PhDs and 1 with a master's. And we also have 2 distinguished professors that have been teaching here for quite a while, and really invest a lot in their students. Our students are mostly from Charleston Southern, or mostly from South Carolina, and a lot of them are particularly from the Low Country. And 50%, about half, are first-time students, first generation college students. So we have 3 degrees that are most common. The most popular one is probably computer science. That is ABET accredited and well established. It provides a lot of great foundations for you to move into a lot of different fields. And then cybersecurity, which is our relatively new major. We had our first graduates last graduation, and we'll have a second batch this graduation. And that is a very growing major. Cybersecurity is incredibly important, as you hear a lot in the news. And so it's definitely something where there's a need and a demand, and lots of opportunities, and a great, interesting field to study. And then we have the Bachelor of Arts in Computer Information Sciences, and that focuses a little less on math and a little bit more on the business side of running things and managing technical groups, etc. Also, we have a Bachelor of Technology degree, and in computer science is the focus. That is for people who have an associate's degree in a related field and are moving in. You can pretty much transfer all of your credits from that and finish out with a Bachelor of Technology degree. And we're excited that we're probably going to have a cybersecurity Bachelor of Technology option starting this fall. So that will be brand new. We've kind of partnered with Trident Technical College to set up a program where people with an undergrad or an associate's degree in cybersecurity can then pursue that more directly as well. Another thing that I want to put on your radar is a master's program. I know that most of you are probably not considering whether or not to go to grad school right now, but we do have a master's in computer science that offers a 4+1, meaning if you plan ahead, you can finish your master's with just one extra year of college. So that's a pretty valuable opportunity. And having that program also gives a lot of value back to the undergraduates that don't pursue the program as they interact with some of the graduate students and as the professors continue with research with those graduate students and just kind of overall raise the level of learning and study in the program. And also we have an MBA program with an emphasis in information systems. So that's more of the business side, but also has the computer side as well. So the Bachelor of Science has the liberal arts core. We have the same core for all of our majors at Charleston Southern, and that has a diverse amount of classes that you take to be a well-rounded individual, and also computer science classes that focus on programming, understanding conceptually how a computer works and how to develop stuff in the most optimal way. So there's a little bit of theory in that. And then a lot of mathematics. Mathematics is very important in computer science. And so that is a major focus of this particular degree as well. So students will go from pre-calculus all the way through calculus 2, and they'll take probability and stats, discrete math, and either calculus 3 or linear algebra, in addition to these other classes that you can see on the screen. And this is so a total of 125 hours, which is what's needed to graduate in any degree at Charleston Southern. And careers for this would be like software engineering or network systems, obviously any programming thing, app development, web development, etc. And also, we have the cybersecurity program, and this combines computer science with network security, mathematics, and also criminal justice. So it's important, we find, for our students to have a background that includes, as you're protecting against criminals or attacks, to be able to also understand when an event occurs, how's that handled in the process there. So the cybersecurity component also rounds out this particular degree. And we also have some clubs related to these that we'll talk about a little bit further for students who are interested in that. One thing that all of our students do if they're in cybersecurity is they get certified, CompTIA Security Plus certified. And so that's an additional credential on top of the degree that really rounds out their ability to get good jobs that they're interested in. And then we have the Bachelor of Arts, which I mentioned is a little less heavy on the math and more about the business side of computer science. So you still take a good amount of computer science. You can see 28 hours required of computer science coursework, but also you have some business, 15 hours of business, and then you have some flexibility to choose beyond that if you want to pursue more computer science, more business, or even graphics design and mathematics. So there's some flexibility there that is helpful for pursuing fields diversely. So these are for computer-related professionals in business, arts, religion, services, healthcare, etc. Also, we have the Bachelor of Technology. Again, this is for students who have an associate's degree in a technical field that's approved, and basically all your credits transfer. You can take this pretty much online or in class, but a lot of students pursue this 100% online, which is really nice. Let's see. Here's the master's, so you can just kind of get an overview of what the master's program entails. And you can see that it has a good core of some of the more advanced but also fundamental to computer science topics, dealing with algorithms, operating systems, test and maintenance of software, databases in a distributed sense, and architecture. So this goes a little bit beyond definitely the coursework in the undergraduate. And then students can kind of refine into particular tracks with their major electives. So we have this fundamental knowledge and also this cutting edge technology that we're kind of exploring in the master's program. So we have this advanced understanding of the fundamentals in that, and also getting real world experience throughout that. And students have an option of pursuing a master's thesis if they want to, which is really good if they want to go on to do further research or to pursue a doctorate, or they can pursue additional classes in the electives instead of pursuing a thesis. So we've got options there for students who want to just get right into the workforce after finishing their master's program and don't want to do a lot of writing for a large thesis project. Here's the clubs or the student opportunities. So we've got clubs, cybersecurity, and both that and computer related to the ACM Club. Chris is going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. We also have competitions that the students participate in that we travel to or host in programming, hacking, and we have also app design competitions that our students have won awards with. We also have students that are members of the Epsilon Pi Epsilon Honor Society, and we have students present at the Spring Symposium, obviously not this year because that was canceled, but we have students still presenting or showing their research remotely. And then lots of students pursuing internships and part-time jobs while they're in school. We also have an industry advisory board, and that board focuses on letting us know what they expect or what they're looking for in graduates, and so that we can continue to refine our curriculum as computer technology is always changing, and the demands are always changing, that we're always current in what we're offering, so that when students graduate, they're well prepared to jump right into the workforce. And so that's a diverse group of individuals from local businesses and national businesses. And also we have a Facebook page, so feel free to check us out on Facebook at the CoinCSU URL. So here's a little bit of pictures from the ACM and cybersecurity clubs. And Chris, I'll let you talk for a moment about this.
Okay. Okay, so my name's Chris. I'm a senior currently at Charleston Southern. And I'm also president of the ACM Club, or as I have to explain it to a lot of people who ask me, what is that? The Computer Science ACM Club. We pretty much welcome just about anybody from, computer science, cybersecurity, math majors. We definitely have some math majors, and we kind of have just a mix of a bunch of different people. There are some people that'll just show up to our events, for example, and some other people that will attend our club meetings as well. So in terms of some of the things that we do during our club meetings is that the president and vice president, we swap back and forth every week, where I'll have meetings more based along like basically playing games, finding like a game for everyone to pretty much play in the computer labs and to just kind of chill out for an hour and a half, because we don't really have a lot of time and, with our degree and with all of our work, but it's nice to have that sectioned off time to be able to just hang out and get to know each other better as computer science students. And then during the other meetings, our vice president will find a computer science topic and present on it. That way we get to learn about things outside of our coursework as well, which is really nice. Specifically our vice president, he's into cybersecurity, so he'll show a lot of cybersecurity topics. In terms of the activities we've done, we do Friday night game nights, or as well as Smash tournaments. Super Smash Brothers, it's a really popular fighting game. If you're not aware, the picture in the middle over there is actually our participants. The people on the left are our winners, and the people on our right, they're all the people that came to either play, compete, or just hang out and eat pizza. On the left picture over there, that was part of one of our volunteer opportunities. It was STEM, Charleston STEM Fest. Some of you guys might have heard about it or even went to it. It was held on the fairgrounds, I believe, pretty close to CSU. And we basically made binary bracelets for the students to be able to learn about binary. And we were able to help kind of spread the word on CSU computer science and have someone learn something, And to the right is also our cybersecurity team, which engages in competitions. And there's also programming competitions that ACM will participate in. We definitely have a way for students to kind of show off their programming prowess if it's something that they want to, if they want to compete in. Let's see. And we also have faculty presentations as well. Just yesterday, actually, we had the head of the department, Dr. Sessions, give a career-based presentation on presenting yourself in the workplace, like the differences between college life and work life and how to make that transition over. Dr. West, he presented on pretty much how to navigate through your career with things like negotiation with salaries, raises, how to make progress in your career and not necessarily be stuck, if that makes sense, like how to actually make that progress as you go on. And Dr. Lin also ended up presenting on 3D printing and teaching us how that works and giving us a tutorial. And for the last thing, on the very left, you can see that is, some of you guys might recognize this. It's from Discord. We have a Discord specifically for the ACM Club where we run not competitions, but we run like meme of the week, computer science meme of the week contests. We have different resources for people to access from past presentations. And we also just have a lot of like just small talk, fun side stuff and announcements as well. And in terms of ACM Club, I think that's about all the main points.
Yeah, that's great, Chris. Thanks. And by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in. You can do that through the chat or unmute yourself and just talk for a moment. Be happy to do that. Also, we'll have time at the end for lots of questions. So feel free to take advantage of that as well. But we're definitely glad you're here virtually. I wish we could see you all in person, but grateful for this technology and this opportunity that we have now. So here's our Epsilon Pi Epsilon first class. So our Charleston Southern chapter started just in 2018. And so we had a lot of inductees. This is the national first and only honor society in the information and computer sciences. And it was established in 1967. It's a pretty prestigious honor society. And so we're grateful to have a lot of good undergraduate and graduate students that we're able to induct. This year, around, I think it was November, November last year, this school year, we had a new large group of inductees as well. And so grateful for that. That's a great opportunity for recognition for all the hard work that students do in their courses. We talked a little bit about the competitions, but here's a few that we highlight that we always try to pursue. So we have the ACM Collegiate Programming Competition. This is the oldest, largest, and most prestigious programming competition in the world that we participate in, and our team does fairly well every year. Also, CyberSeed we take advantage of. We've done well in that, and also the Montreat Cybersecurity Competition, as well as others that pop up. I took a group to one hosted by Georgia Tech called Hungry Hackers. So we got to learn a little bit there, but also to compete and did quite well. I even got to participate a little bit unofficially as an individual competing, not for a place. So that was a lot of fun. So here's some of the recent recognitions that we've had, and I'm sure there's more. These are just a few that I've been aware of as I was trying to think through it before this meeting. But we have the Young Nonprofit Professional Network Atlanta's 30 Under 30, who was recognized just this past fall for being the for starting Next IT Girl. So that's a nonprofit devoted to educating and mentoring women in the IT field. And so we're grateful for our 2019 graduate there to being recognized for that. We've also had a Forbes 30 Under 30, our Micah, who graduated in 2011. Recently, we've had some good placements and victories in different competitions for cybersecurity, hacking, and also defending, and as well as programming, and including the mobile app competition. We have student opportunities to serve as Christians, and providing that Christian leadership. We want to instill in the students that this is a tool for the Lord, not just for yourself, that you're developing these talents. And so one thing that we have is student-led opportunities in these clubs to serve our community and also internationally. So Chris talked a little bit about serving at the fairs, and also helping with Code On. So they replaced these hard drives and sped up these computers for these students that are young and in opportunities where they don't necessarily have access to computers, to be able to learn a bit of programming, to understand some computer fundamentals, and grow in that skill set, so that later on they might become the computer professionals of today, of the future. And we also have student ambassadors. Chris was a student ambassador for 2 years, right, Chris? And right. And so these ambassadors help kind of promote computer science to the rest of the community of students, and also help kind of say, hey, even if you're going to be an educator, or if you're going to pursue nursing, or if you're going to be a youth pastor, having a minor in computer science provides a great opportunity to round out your skills, because computers are used everywhere, and just knowing a little bit more about how they work and what you can do with them, developing that skill set, it adds value to any job, or in lots of different areas of life. So we got a question about what companies recently recruited from your cybersecurity program and offering internships. I'll show you a slide in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. That is a great question. I want to say here that the picture at the bottom is from Guatemala. So the students also just last year took a trip to Guatemala and kind of was able to work with students there with VR sets. A lot of these children were not able to travel very far, out of their own village ever. And so to have an opportunity to kind of see around the world and learn about what things look like in a virtual reality set was really fun, and a kind of a neat opportunity there. Here's our faculty members. So our leader, Dr. Valerie Sessions, is the department head. We also have lots of other professionals with special expertise. Dr. Lynn does a lot of our networking classes and security stuff. I focus on programming fundamentals, user interface design, human-computer interaction, and touchscreen, that kind of thing. Dr. West focuses on architecture, operating systems, algorithms, fundamentals there. Dr. Babatunde is incredibly skilled in things like machine learning, also algorithms, artificial intelligence. That's kind of his areas. Professor Henderson comes to us from IBM, and she's got a lot of great organizational background as well as programming background. She teaches our object-oriented class as well as a lot of the cybersecurity classes. And then Fred Worthy and Jim Roberts are our distinguished professors that have been around forever. They've taught a lot of classes and continue to do so. They have incredible expertise from a lot of life experience that they share with our students, and the students really enjoy working with them. One of the things that sets us out is that we have small class sizes. So 24 is kind of the maximum we ever pursue. That's large for us. We try to add more sections, so we always have small classes as we continue to grow. We've had classes as small as 2 students. Now that's not regular, but not an impossibility. And so being able to know each of our students well in the classroom, know what they're struggling with, being able to provide individual help during the lab times really goes a long way. And we really enjoy getting to know our students on a personal level beyond just the school material. Being able to pray with our students and also talk about their struggles. We also have senior projects that are a 3-semester process where we develop a real product for real customers. And so this can lead to potential employment opportunities. It really kind of expands out beyond what you learned in class to studying and figuring out something on your own, building on the foundation that was provided, and really kind of an opportunity to follow your passion too. You have kind of a flexibility there of what you might pursue and how you will do it. So that's a great learning experience. One of the things that we really strive to do is to emphasize teamwork. That's a thing that our Industrial Advisory Board has really pushed as we work with different people. And so that's one thing that's somewhat lacking apparently with the upcoming generation is there's a lot more work individually, but a lot less focus on learning how to work well with teams. And so part of that is obviously the cybersecurity and programming teams, but also doing stuff with the senior projects or working with industry partners. For example, Dejan, who did the award-winning Tap It mobile app, worked on that with a partner. And so that's something that we really focus on that I think makes us somewhat unique from other programs. Hats off. So this is a quote from a computer science graduate. It says, "Hats off to the CSU staff and their part in making my career a success. More than anything, the Christian value that we were exemplified and taught at CSU were a reminder of the encouragement to me to always do everything as doing it unto the Lord. As a result, the work ethic and skills I have learned at CSU have aided me immensely in my career and in my life." And so that's something that we're really striving to do as a Christian university. We really want to say, okay, let's go beyond just here's what's not allowed, or here's what's illegal, and here's what's allowed, but what can you do, or what should you do, and why should you do it or not do it, and considering that from the fundamental worldview of being created by God for a purpose. So talking about the internships, we've had, this is a diverse group of employers that we've had people employed with. A lot of these have also employed our people, our students in internships. I can point out a few would be definitely Boeing, Santee Cooper, the Booz Allen, and the Savannah River National Laboratory. We have a student right now doing an internship through them, which is very exciting, and many more. So I think this gets to a picture of that. That the type of stuff that is possible through internships as well as through graduate programs. A lot of people do an internship in their junior summer or just before their senior school year, or during that senior year as well, and continue that internship. And that often turns right into a job. Other students who do an internship discover they don't want to do that type of job, and that's an opportunity to grow and learn professionally, and then really shapes where they go when they graduate. So it's not a way to say, oh, no, I made a terrible mistake in choosing this major. It's a way of saying, oh, I have a little mindset of one area of computer science, and that really has moved me to another area. And so we see a lot of students really fall into a strong passion through doing their internships with that.
Dr. Hayes?
Yes.
So what was it? So when talking about specifically addressing the question with the companies for cybersecurity, among the students that I talk to frequently and from the career fairs that I've gone to in the past, I would say our biggest supporters would definitely be NIWIC, which formerly SPAWAR, Blackbaud, and Santee Cooper. All three of them, especially, they make it a point to come to the career fairs every year and to actively recruit for not just cybersecurity, but also computer science majors as well. There are definitely a few of my friends as well that are in cyber that are doing internships this
Yeah.
summer with the FBI as well. So believe me, this isn't all filler. Like they're like the students are really getting these internships and being able to learn from them.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. That's really helpful. And you would be surprised at the types of companies that require a cybersecurity intern. We had, I don't think any of our students pursued this through, but we had some recruiters from Home Depot looking for cybersecurity professionals interns to join their cybersecurity team of professionals because any company with a large data set, is being focused on by hackers. And so companies are really scrambling right now to say, okay, how can we provide all these services that we've always provided and the increasing number of services online or across the nation within their own internal database, but also making it secure and being able to test and harden and identify as they grow how to improve. And so that's really interesting, I think. There's really so many opportunities available to us here locally and also nationally for internships if you're thinking over the summer. Great question. Here's also some partnership agreements. I just want to mention that we can get tuition, or a lot of local organizations provide tuition reimbursement. So if you work for one of these companies, you may be able to go to school for free, which is a great opportunity. So I just want to point that out. I know we went kind of long. I want to be able to answer all of your questions and interact with you a little bit more. So definitely feel free to chime in now before you head out. If you have to head out, because I know it's been a half hour, definitely you're welcome to do that. But let me know if you have any questions. Also, I'm going to post this link in the chat. This is a packet of checklists and information about the different degrees we talked about today, PDF. So you can download that and kind of look at the programs on an overview after this. And I think this video is recorded and it may be able to be posted and watched later.
Yeah, and if you guys want to just drop questions in the chat, maybe if you're not in the environment where you can ask a question through the mic.
Here's some more pictures also of different things that have happened while we're talking.
Let's see. Does anyone have questions relating to specifically with the student experience? Like, I know I have a lot of people that'll ask about the math side of things. Does anyone have questions relating to that, or?
What do you think the hardest math is, Chris?
I would say definitely the hardest math that I had to really fight through was Calculus 2. Calculus 2 was definitely like the peak of, all right, do you actually understand this stuff? I would say for anyone who's unsure of their mathematical ability, I came in with, honestly, I wasn't really that great in math. I had to retake pre-cal once. And I don't know, I just didn't really have a very good foundation with math, and I didn't even have the pros of doing programming before I got here, but I was able to make it through and learn what I needed to know. But like Dr. Hayes mentioned earlier, there's also other options as well if the math side of things either becomes too much or it just doesn't become a component that's really enjoyable. I found to appreciate it after being held hostage for a while. After a while, when you have to take so many classes, you kind of, learn to like it.
Sure.
So for anyone that's has anxiety about that, you can still do computer science if you're not as math oriented. You just need to assess your options and see like, all right, what's best for me. Ooh, if you take AP Calc, ABBC in high school and earn credit, what other math do you take?
So depending on your score, I believe, you can transfer in with credit and start at, or just test in at a higher level of math. So the first math that's required is Calculus 1 in our program for computer science, I'm talking about specifically. And so if you can get credit for Calculus 1, then you can jump right into Calculus 2 and so forth. But also, you definitely don't have to take pre-calculus if you meet the requirements to jump into Calculus 1 or college algebra. So a lot of our students start with college algebra, then take pre-calculus, and then Calculus 1. But you can definitely skip that if you're definitely have that foundation with credit or without credit. We have a math placement test that allows you to kind of start at the level where your experience hits. But having AP credit would be great to count towards the credits you need, especially if you're going beyond Calculus 1 or beyond. So that's definitely something you'd want to check with when you apply, that transfer credit is accepted for that. Can I put the slide back up with the different organizations? Yeah. Let me share that.
And what was it? Going back to the AP Calc question, just real quick, just throwing my 2 cents. It is really helpful to be able to have the ability to skip 2 classes, as opposed to, like, if you have the ability, of course, like if you can jump right into pre-cal or even jump right into Cal 1, that's really helpful, especially if you have setbacks that can help minimize like whatever setbacks and that you have throughout the major possibly. It's definitely something I would have wanted. Let's see. Partnership agreements. Are you guys considering adding a data science concentration?
Oh, well, there is talk about it, so no official plans. One of our teachers, Dr. Babatunde, you saw this picture, he is really would love to have a data science major. So that's not something that we're actively developing, but something that's definitely a hope for the future. So maybe not this fall, but maybe next fall or the fall after. That's a possibility. Yeah, great question.
I'm wishing to pursue a career as an audio engineer. With that field choice, what do you suggest for specific programs at CSU? Morgan, I believe this might be your department.
I am unsure of that, actually. Okay. Do y'all have any insight on that one?
So I can just say that what I did, I actually double majored in music and computer science, and the engineering from the music perspective isn't something that has a large focus at computer science in computer science. However, we have this new engineering major that started this past fall, I think, and it has a track that's in. I'm thinking it's digital processing or computer engineering. It's computer engineering track. So I think that one would be probably the most closest one for audio engineers, is to take the engineering major with the computer engineering track, and then also working with the music department either by double majoring, which would be hard but rewarding, or minoring in music. I think that would be a great combination for becoming an audio engineer.
Sounds like the Horton School of Music would probably also be a good step, like a good set of people to reach out to. The staff there are definitely very friendly, and they can probably point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think Dr. Holland from the Horton School of Music is doing a presentation. So if you have an opportunity to jump on or see the recording for that would be helpful as well. Yeah. Was there another question that we missed, Chris?
Do y'all have 3D printers on campus? Actually, yes, we do. This semester, last semester, after Dr. Lin gave his 3D printing presentation, we were able to talk with Dr. Sessions to make it so that the 3D printer, you would be able to access it and be able to print in between classes, to be able to be let into the room to get to the 3D printer and to be able to get it to print and to get your stuff working on it. So yeah, we do have, I know we have one working 3D printer, and I think we have another one that Dr. Lin has been trying to fix. Well, he's been trying to find the time to fix for a good while now. But yeah, we do have 3D printers on campus, and we definitely have a few people that have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we had a one senior project where a student developed a smart app for controlling lights, and one of the things he did was make his own custom light with LED strips in it and a 3D printer, and so that was part of his focus was not only the software design for the app to function and connect to lighting apparatuses, but also to have his specific lighting design included, and so that was pretty cool.
Is computer, I believe CIS stands for Computer Information Systems, correct? Is CIS offered as a BS degree instead of a BA? If not, why?
So we have the computer science degree and the cybersecurity degree. Those are both Bachelor of Science, and then we have the Bachelor of Arts in Computer and Information Sciences, and that degree is a Bachelor of Arts mainly because it's less focused on the scientific, dealing with the math. It has a lot less math in it, and less of the computer science, and more business. And the business focus is in the Bachelor of Arts degree, and so that's why it's a BA. However, you could definitely pursue the computer science degree and get the Bachelor of Science and minor in business. So students have done that before. A minor is not required for our degree because there's a lot of classes in our major, but it is an option. And students do add sometimes a math minor, sometimes a graphics design minor, and sometimes a business minor. Those are pretty common.
I definitely say that when it comes to getting the minor, even though it's not required, it is possible if you plan correctly at the beginning. And that's where you would pay probably pretty close attention to, the path and the track that you're on. So that would be my recommendation for people who are wanting to do that, because that's the advice that I've seen from people that did, cybersecurity minors, or they did minors in other things. Because at first I was like, okay, how can you actually pull this off? Apparently it's with a lot of planning.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's not uncommon. And just to talk a little bit about the partnership agreements, basically these local organizations, businesses, and also some dealing with the government, like the Navy, if you're working for them, they often will pay for your tuition, and so it's a opportunity provided by the organization to pay specifically for college if you come to CSU. And so that would be something that you'd want to talk to your employer specifically about. And there may be others that are not on this list as well. These are just the ones that we're definitely familiar with because we've worked with them.
Where could we find the recordings for any of these virtual presentations?
I believe they'll be on the website. I'm not sure. I'm going to, I give my recording for this one, along with everyone else, to the coordinators, and they're doing something with them. So I think the website that advertised these presentations, the webpage that had that, is going to have links later on, but I don't know, not sure. But they will be made available, so stay tuned. Great question. Well, I just want to say that we're grateful that you're here and talking to us, and we pray that as you pursue and think about where you're going to go and what you're going to study, that God would lead you. I know that God is calling you somewhere particular, and that He will bless you as you think about and prayerfully consider where that would be. If you have any more questions from us, let us know. My information is available on the website. I'd be happy to talk to you further. I'll type in the chat here my email address. And I hope that we can see each other in person sometime soon as we continue to deal with current events and pray for the world and what's going on. Thanks very much. And it looks like there's posted a question or a response that the videos will be recordings will be posted on the same web page. That's great. All right, thank you guys very much.